Hello and welcome back. Another GP weekend is here after qualifying, and it is the Winter GP that we are doing. So today you're going to see Brazil, Singapore, Italy and France, and tomorrow Austria, Belgium, Japan and Canada to finish off. So looking forward to this one, and let's see where we're at the minute. So we haven't started, still to do 4 races, and looking across the field, we have got Music Man, 8 races, 373 points. He's dropped 3 points, so we're in with a chance in this one 100%. But we've got to score well. What are we using? Norris and Max is the main runners for ourselves. And also we've got our level 8 and our Leviathan level 5 as well. So with all that due, let's get into Brazil. First race in the wet. And let's see what fun we can have today. Our very first race of opening round. And we've got a decent matchup here. About 50 in our favour. And remember guys, Discord link is below. So if you want to jump in my server, please do. Get involved with weekly discussions. So what are we going to do? We're going to do Frost on our Max Verstappen. And Hex on our Lando Norris. And we're going to try and do 5 laps on the wets. And then come back in, do the overcut with Verstappen. That's what the plan is. And hopefully it goes to plan. So here we go. Norris always should get the better start on that P2 position. And can we get up the inside? We can, and that's perfect. What about Verstappen? He's going to get through a few cars here as well. And Max Verstappen likes the look of Leclerc and takes it into P5. But what about Sainz? We're all over the back of the rivals. We're going to keep pushing a little bit because Carlos Sainz is vulnerable, but we're just not going to climb past him. So P1 and P5 at the moment. And we're going to start to look after these tyres. I expect a lot of the field will be in on lap 4. So we need to just keep in touch with second place. That's the key to this strategy. And Norris is going to be absolutely flying and we'll have no issues out there. Max Verstappen, we're just going to ask to close the gap a little bit. And he's at the back of Sainz now. Sainz, who goes wide, gives Verstappen a chance, but Verstappen can't take it. And now with another lap coming up shortly, we are about to start lap 3. So we're well on tyres. 5 laps is 60%, so we've got some pushing. And we have a safety car. We have a safety car, and it's going to take a good another lap. So I'm going to pit with wets for Norris. Where are we in the field? So I'm actually going to pit for wets as well with Verstappen. I feel like this is a good time to pit for some wet tyres on both drivers and get out. So if you think about it, lap 3, we're going to be under the safety car for lap 4, and then it's going to be 4 laps to go. So we definitely want to be pitting with Norris now. And we should probably come out around P10, but we're going to be absolutely fine when everybody else comes into pits. So Verstappen will come in. Let's watch it now. So everybody will continue. Everyone's slow under the safety car. And this should work in our favour. But where are we going to come out? I said P10. Are we going to keep P8? We are. So P8 for Verstappen now. But we don't have to pit again. That is key. So we should have played an absolute blinder here. Safety car is not slowing down. He's going pretty quick, the safety car. And what about pit stops ahead? So we need the safety car to really back these up at the minute because we're still 10 seconds behind. And that gap is now coming down. So as we start back up, no pit stops just yet. Verstappen tries to go round the outside of Verstappen, can't get it done. So we're going to cut down. And I'm going to leave Norris on medium boost. Reason being, these are absolutely packed together now. Only a 2-second gap. I'm doing an extra lap on these wets than I'd want. So I'm just going to save the tyre where I can. And as we get up the inside of Verstappen, we can't keep it. No, we can't. So we're just going to push now, coming up the field. So the rival goes on. Few people into the pits, just the one car actually. And they're going to do 6 laps. So Verstappen, I'm going to leave pushing. Should get Leclerc hopefully into this corner, and he does. So we are now P1 and P5 with Hamilton ahead. Norris and Norris all got to pit, so we should be in prime position to pick up P1 and P2. Can we jump Hamilton? We're right on the cusp of 50%. Hamilton will dive into the pits. Verstappen will go on, and now Verstappen's got to increase the gap, and hopefully we can keep Norris behind with 1.5 laps to go for Norris. And he's coming round on the home straight. 1 lap to go, we'll cut that down. He's absolutely fine. What about Verstappen? Still 40% tyres. A good 6-second gap back to Norris. So this is looking very good indeed. We've used the safety car to perfection. That's what we needed. And where it was going to be a tricky 47, it's now going to turn into, hopefully, we finish this out. And it's an absolute great start to the weekend. So, half a lap to go. Norris will win P1. Brilliant start for Norris. Max Verstappen coming around the last corner into P2. Second place for Max. Brilliant drive from him as well. Safety car tactic worked a treat. And first race is done of opening round. And it's a mammoth 47 points. Here we go with race 2 out of 4 for opening round that you're going to see. We've got Singapore. We've got another decent matchup. So these should change very shortly. They're two nice of matchups at the moment. P3 for Norris, P6 for Max Verstappen. And we're going to be putting in the Kawhi boost for Max. I want to try the mediums on him. And soft for Norris. And I'm going to use the Eagle on softs. Here we go. So can we get a great start for Norris and also for Max? That's what we're looking for. Hard tyres for the rival, P8. And here we go. Lights out and Lando Norris. Can he get a good start into the lead? He's slow away. Reactions are slow. But his second burst of pace was absolutely electronic. And he's through. And Max Verstappen now all over the back of Norris. And Max Verstappen, P1 and P2. And that is the perfect start to our Singapore Grand Prix. 1-2 after the second and third corner. And that should set us up to have a very decent race. Now remember, safety cars could come into it, so this is not over yet. But you will see at the moment, Max Verstappen on the mediums, you've got Norris on the softs, and that Kawhi boost is that powerful that I imagine Verstappen will keep within a decent amount of time back to Lando Norris. One thing I've noticed, Kawhi boost is very overpowering. And it's one boost you do definitely want to have in your locker if you haven't already. The cornering and the grip are absolutely perfect for Singapore. The Eagle that we're using on Norris is obviously tyre management, but it is also grip as well, because this is a grip and tyre track here in Singapore. And let's check where we are. We're pulling away from the hard tyres of Norris. So what you've got to think about is we're P1 and P2. P3 and P4 are on hard tyres, so they're going to be holding the pack up. So we don't have to push yet, but we're going to gain valuable seconds. Look, you can see nearly 6 seconds to P3, and we're just conserving round. We've got Verstappen. I told you, Kawhi boost on mediums against soft and Eagle. That Max Verstappen is keeping within 1.8 seconds, and they're both conserving. That tells you how good Kawhi boost is. So we've got half a lap. This lap's gone quick. So we're going to start to boost Norris very shortly. This is the strategy that I do in Singapore. 4 laps followed by 3. So full boost on Norris, medium boost on Max. And we're just going to create about a 7-8 second gap. That's what's key. And you can see the hard tyres are still in third and 4th place. So we're going to be absolutely creating this gap perfectly. And the gap's not grown massively. It's still only 2.8 between our front two drivers. And we're going to come back for the softs on both cars. And it should be flying to the end. Should be, I say. But at least if a safety car comes out now, we're going to be on soft tyres. And we're going to be ready to go. What's the gap? 4.4 now. As Norris will be coming into the pit, so we'll boost both drivers. That Kawhi boost kept him right near him. And let's see who's faster, Kawhi boost or Eagle when they're both pushing. Perfect pit stop. Norris out, Verstappen in. And we're going to boost Norris. We're going to boost Verstappen. And let's just see if Verstappen can catch him. And let's monitor the gap. Let's have our own little fun. So 4 seconds is the gap between Lando and Max. And let's see if Max can bring it down a little bit. We are obviously going to have sort of back markers, so they're going to affect everything. But at the minute, look, 7 tenths already Verstappen's took out of Norris. Obviously, Norris has got different stats to Verstappen, different boosts as well. 3.1, so a second in the lap Verstappen's took out of Lando. And now we're going to be into the back markers, so you can't really call it now. But yeah, that Kawhi boost is definitely a second a lap faster than Eagle for Lando. But the main important thing is we've got a lap and a half to go, and we are at the minute scoring a nicely 47 points. As now Max Verstappen gets in reach of Lando Norris. I wonder if he can pass him. I wonder if he can get lucky, Max, and try and push one up the inside. Hopefully they don't take each other out and we end up with 0 points. Now that would be interesting, wouldn't it? So, coming round, last lap to go. Stroll's holding us up. But we are cementing P1 and P2. Definitely the strategy to go to, guys. Doing a 4 laps and a 3 laps is so powerful in Singapore. So, half a lap. Max Verstappen's right behind Lando Norris. Nearly sends one up the inside. And this is the go-to boost. Gotta be the go-to boost for any grip or tyre tracks. And Max, can he send one up the inside of Norris on the last corner? He tries, but he can't do it. But the most important, P1 for Lando Norris. P2 for Max Verstappen, lapping most of the field. And 2 out of 2, 2 lots of 47. Race 3, Monza. And if you haven't seen already, a recent track guide about Monza. So do check it out and you can score some big points at this track. And where are we starting? P3 and P5 for ourselves. And we're going to be used the tried and tested dead fast on Lando. And for Max, we're going to be picking the Street Shark. So a bit of tyres, a bit of cornering, a bit of tyres, a bit of speed, a bit of overtake is the recipe for today's race. And here we go. Good start needed. Can we go 3 out of 3 on the 47s? So, lights out and away we go. Lando Norris gets a good start down the middle. What about Max Verstappen? Can he follow through? He can't. Well, I hope he don't follow through, but you never know. And he's P4 after the first corner. So we're going to keep boosting and we're going to then cut down. So what about Max? Going to cut down there, P4. And thankfully, just confirmed by the driver, Max Verstappen hasn't followed through. And he is safely dry as well in P4. So ahead of us, soft tyres. So they're going to hopefully go back to some mediums at the end of the stint. And we can pick them off on them soft tyres. But our Street Shark should keep us fairly close to them, even though we're conserving. And all we need to do at the minute is create a gap of about 4.5, 5 seconds. And we've got a safety car already. And I'm not going to pit, I don't feel, with Max Verstappen, or probably am actually. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go softs here. And I'm going to pit with Norris. I'm going to pit as well with Verstappen. And we've got a load of soft and mediums behind us. So risky business. I'm fancying my chances again. Can we pull off another masterclass? As in comes Norris. And Norris has lost a spot, but he's going to come back out because they have to wait. Now, if you didn't know that, when you're under a safety car, if you are in P1, the rest of the field has to wait for your pit stop. So if you didn't know that, that is a massive, massive shout that you need to know. And I'll repeat it. If you are P1, when the safety car comes out, if you pit, the rest of the field cannot pass you until you've come back out the pits. So it is a free pit stop. And why did we pit then? So we're going to have a conserved lap here. We've got Norris, Verstappen, Charles and Russell all potentially coming in the pits this lap or next. And then we've got the mediums, which will be the lap after. And we should hopefully absolutely fly through when everyone's getting chock-a-block in the pits. That's the thinking. It should work. You never know. But we should get 3 laps on these tyres. So that will see us through to lap 6. And then some soft running at the very end. So Lando's ready. Safety car is in this lap. And we're about to get the show on the road. Can Aaron have a good strategy like Red Bull? Or will it fall to pieces like Ferrari? Let's find out then as we go racing again in Monza. And everyone doesn't pit. So it's a good chance for Norris now to stretch his legs. And what about Verstappen? Can we get an early move on Carlos Sainz? We can. So we're up to P7. I'm going to save tyres here. No need to push too hard whilst we can't really overtake. So Norris is away at the front. We are away with Verstappen and we're going to start to push very shortly. So can we get a move up the inside? We can't. Norris carries on to lap 5. Verstappen up to P6. Any pit stops? There is 1, 2, and they're all in the pits. So crucial part now. Medium tyres, they're going to be going to the end. We've potentially got another lap and a half to create about an 8-second gap. And Lando Norris got 1 more lap to go until he comes into the pits. And he's going round. So that should be fine. What about the gap though? 4 seconds to P3. But overall is about 8 seconds. As we come over the line to start lap 6. And Lando Norris running out of tyres. So we're going to cut down a little bit onto the mediums, starting to lap the field. And Max Verstappen is okay on tyres. Lando will be as well. And will be into the pits for softs. So the gap is 12 seconds between Max and 3rd place. So we should be absolutely perfect. And we are. So Norris comes out, 4 laps of fuel. And what about Verstappen? Verstappen comes out with 3.5. And if you didn't know, you need about 1.5, 1.6 of fuel a lap at pushing. So we are good to go till the very end. So let's just pound the laps in. Let's get the drivers feeling that accelerator. So Norris starting to lap the field. And he should be past these pretty quickly with 1 lap to go. Lapping the back markers for fun. And so soon will be Max Verstappen as well. Brilliant safety car. We worked out the safety car in Brazil with the perfect strategy. And we've worked out the strategy with the safety car again in Monza to an absolute T. As Norris comes over the line. P1 for Lando Norris. And Verstappen rubbing it into the rival. Up the inside, round the outside again. And oh yeah, P1 and P2, 47 points. Massive, massive win at the circuit of Monza. We enter race number 4. The final race of this opening round that you're going to see. And we are qualifying for it in P3 and P8. So some big moves needed to be able to get this one over the line. So let's have a look what we're going to do. We're going to use dead fast on our Max Verstappen and get him through. And we're going to be using Lando Norris with a Gladiator. Got to find it first. And we're going to try and block some rivals as well. So here we go. Key race. Our biggest challenge yet, you could argue. And we're starting P3 and P8. As lights will go out. And what can Lando Norris do? He's been superb so far off the start. And he is absolutely sublime again. As he hits the front and absolutely sticks the accelerator down to disappear. And what about Max Verstappen? Can he go up the inside of Lewis Hamilton? The answer is no. And we're going to bring Norris down. What about Verstappen? All over the back of Lewis again. Any move up the inside? There's a 1 on the outside, but he can't complete the job. So, P1 and P7 as we settle down into this race. And what have we got ahead of us? Lewis Hamilton on the softs. We've got a rival on the mediums. So we're just going to keep our position at this corner, very tricky corner, and we're going to carry on round. So P1, P7, so we need to get Max through these cars, and we're going to be coming back for soft tyres a bit later on. So we're going to try and give Lewis Hamilton a run down into this corner with that dead fast. Round the outside, can't be done. What about up the inside through this corner? And Lewis absolutely defends like the world champion that he has been. And we're going to cut down again. So we're very short on tyres. We can't really push too much more. As an opportunity opens up, we just can't get him. And we're going to come back for some soft tyres. And then at the end, we're going to be out there for the mediums. So Norris sitting in P1. He's got Lando Norris closing up on him as well. And we're just going to try and hold the field up a little bit. We should get ahead of Norris in the pits anyway. He shouldn't jump us. So he should be absolutely fine. What have we got behind us? We've got a bunch of softs, mediums. So there shouldn't be any people in the way. As Norris now comes into the pits and we need a good stop. We probably should have been boosting a little bit before we came in. Can we get ahead of Norris? We can. So we're ahead of Norris. Verstappen gets held up. And we're going to try and hold the field up again with our Norris. Verstappen, not in clean air. He's behind Ricciardo. And what's the gap to the leader? The gap is 5 seconds. But he should run out of tyres before the end of this race. And what about Max? Max is behind Perez. Can team orders of the Red Bull drivers get us through? The answer is no. So we're up against it. Can we get one out the bag? As the leaders come into the pits, Max Verstappen into P8, and now the leader, or was the leader, Red Bull, comes back out. So we're still doing 3 laps with Lando. We've changed the strategy to hold them up, and we'll be coming in this time round with Norris, with Verstappen as he's behind Norris. Norris can't do 4 laps on them tyres, so he'll be coming back in. So what about P5? That's P5. What about P4? Oh, what a move by Max Verstappen down the inside of both of them. Caught them sleeping. And we are now into P4, coming back into mediums. And that dead fast boost will allow us to push right till the very end. As in we come. No pit stops for anyone else. So we shouldn't get held up at all. We're going to keep Lando Norris out there. And Verstappen can now push. He's got to get past that Verstappen though. That hard tyre could be killer. So look at the gap, 9.4 seconds. And we're going to just continue to hold up with Lando. And then we're going to boost very shortly as Verstappen now P7. So we're now going to boost. We've done as much as we can holding up these drivers. And into the pits we shall come. Norris will continue round. He does. So in comes Norris. Soft tyres going on. Verstappen will go through. And that's going to work a treat because we just need... Everyone should pit now. Everybody should pit. And that should see us in to P1 and P2. I hope. The hard tyre, maybe not. What's the gap? The gap is 4.8 seconds. So we should be absolutely fine here. But we need to get past these cars ASAP. And there's one gone. And there's another one. So P4 and P5... Will they be coming in? Oh, absolutely. They shall be coming in. And we now should start. 1 lap to go. This is the last lap. And we are now in P1 and P2. Another perfect strategy in this race. It looks bleak. But we've absolutely turned it out the bag. And that Gladiator holding up the field is what's helped Max Verstappen get through into P2. And Norris is going to complete this. And in the end... We're going to be far and far away from our opponent, 7 seconds. But another masterclass in France. P1 for Lando Norris. P2 for Max Verstappen. A very good 47 points here in France. As the rival comes over in P3 and P6. But that is 4 races of the opening round. 4 lots of 47 points, and you can see the team score wasn't far off that round. Still had a lot to do. But we are 4 out of 4. So 47s across the board, 188 points. And we can see Music Man, 373, 46 and a 45 has cost him today. I imagine he's going to be very back to his best tomorrow, 100%. And calling out our team, we've got Chev. Chev's done good, 179 points. Well done, Chev. That's not a bad round at all. In Champion especially. And then just looking to see if we've got any more. Toman's gone 45 points for Blue Flags. So another Blue Flags. So if you're interested in joining Blue Flags or one of our regional teams, let me know in the comments below and I'll see if we can get you in there as well. We're always looking for good players in Contender or Champion for our main club. So that's the end of races 1 to 4. Tomorrow we have Austria, Belgium, Japan and Canada. I hope to see you all there. We've hit 500 subscribers. Thank you so much to every single one of you. And as always, keep believing, keep dreaming. I'll see you in the next one.